Hi guys, welcome to Jazzy Jazz TV.
What up, what up?
Today we'll be sharing how Baby Zoey
Princess Zoey at that.
was brought into the world
Hey now.
via C-section.
Yes, yes.
Alright, so this is how the story begins.
Well, just to start off, Princess Zoey, I call her Princess Zoey, Baby Zoe, Baby Z. That's my daughter, man. That's my first daughter. I love her to death, you know. And I appreciate this woman sitting next to me for blessing me with her and everything. So I call her Princess Zoe, Baby Zoe, whatever she wants, she can have.
She is a princess. And she is our seventh child. First
Yeah.
girl. This is the first girl. 6 boys behind her.
Mm-hmm.
So she is well loved, siblings and all.
Siblings and all. Very well protected. Of course, y'all know that if y'all have any kids out there, or the ratio to boys and girls of the outweighs one another, they be overprotective of their siblings.
Yes. Well, with all of that being said, I'm just gonna start at my 37 week of being pregnant with Zoe. Everything was fine. She was head down, and then she decided to flip over, which they call breech. She became breached at week 37. So
all this time she been down there the right way, and as time to come into the world, she wanna
flip over,
do gymnastics in there.
That's fine. Of course, she's a diva.
Yeah,
she wanted her space. So when I was told that she was breached, I looked up all kind of methods to get her to flip over. We came home and I tried the heating pad and the ice pad to get her to move around in the belly. That didn't work. I tried yoga. That didn't work. I tried flipping throughout the night to get her to move. That didn't work either.
All over the bed. Over the bed, I mind you.
In week 38, I went back and she was still breached. So we went ahead and scheduled the C-section.
Yeah.
At that time when he told me that I was going to have a C-section, I was a bit nervous because I delivered vaginally with all of the boys, and this was my first C-section, so I really wasn't too fond.
Right, so you can, suspect our, anticipation of how was she gonna come into the world, and being that we never done this before, so and being that she's the only girl, so that puts more, you know what I mean, I guess anxiousness on the idea of she's coming, via C-section.
Yeah, the doctor thought it was safe. He didn't want to try the method of turning her himself. He said that sometimes they can be wrapped in the umbilical cord and you can kind of strangle them by trying to flip them over. So he decided to go ahead and just do the C-section so that she comes out safe into the world. So we basically just scheduled that C-section at that appointment, and I did deliver her the next week. I was told to be at the hospital at 10:30, and the surgery was scheduled at 12:30. Mind you, the surgery started at 12:40 something or 1 o'clock.
It was close, like to 1 o'clock. I want to say it wasn't right at 1, but about 12:45.
They were a bit off schedule, and let me tell you this here. I went in, I checked in with them. I was in the room the entire time, hooked up to the monitors.
Mind you, this is a quarantine, baby. So you know what that means, quarantine, baby.
I was hooked up to everything, answering all the questions. They ask you about 50 million questions to get you into the system. And then all of a sudden, Miss Marsha comes out, which is
she was the
I can't say the word, anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist.
She was really rushed. She was really rushed, and it really made me nervous because this is my first time having a C-section. This is my first experience. She came in and gave me a drink. It tasted like sour grape, like a real spoiled sour grape drink. It was like a shot.
Man.
She gave it to me, and then she was talking really fast, extremely fast. And so she came in, she did her spiel, and then she left to the operating room to continue to prep. Once I took the shot, I was told to walk to the operating room. Dad had to stay in the room because they had to give me my spinal before he came into the room. So they gave him his whole outfit to wear.
Looking like I work in the chemical plant.
He was dressed up. If I can, I will upload pictures of his outfit, everything that he wore into the operating room.
But I won't go miss a step. I'm a Baby Zoey coming to the world, you know. And sidebar, this seafood is good as hell, man. Homemade, by the way, courtesy of Jazzy Jazz. You know, won't go nowhere else. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't go miss a step for Baby Zoey coming to the world. I want her to see her mom and dad when she come into the world and let her know that, you know, she's always going to have us too, no matter what.
Exactly. She is truly loved from both sides of the family, siblings and all. Everybody's just totally in love with her because she is like she's not the first baby girl in the family, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Since there's been a little baby girl walking around.
At least a decade.
Mm-hmm.
At least a decade. My brother, I have one niece.
Mm-hmm.
And two nephews. So at one point in time, my niece was the only girl. And
yep.
That was 10 years ago. So you imagine the hype behind Baby Zoey.
Everybody is so in love with this little girl. And so, just going back to the story, they gave Dad his outfit. They prepped him for surgery. And I had to walk to the operating room. So I walked to the operating room. I was given a hairnet. Of course, I had the hospital gown on. They gave me that as soon as I came into the room. I had to change or whatnot. And then, you know, they hooked me up to the monitor. So I took the shot. And then I had to walk to the operating room. I was given the hairnet. I walked into the doors. The room was so tiny. I was expecting for the room to be a bit bigger and more organized. I want to say it was really small. And so when I walked in, the room was freezing. Man, it was so cold.
I'm like, why?
It was so cold.
What are we trying to kill in this room, huh? I always sterilize.
Oh my God. So I was just, of course, in the gown that they gave me. They gave me like a little sheet to walk down the hall with. That really didn't help because I was still freezing when I went to the room. And so as soon as I came in, you know, they told me to state my name and what I'm doing in the operating room. So, of course, I gave them my first and my last name. And I told them I'm here for a C-section. And so after that, Miss Marsha, she was still rushed. She was so rushed. She made me so nervous. I was so scared, to be honest. I have never been scared.
At one point in time, I had to be like, Marsha, you can slow down.
You can slow down, for real.
Slow down.
I think because they were behind schedule. It was other moms. And then I think it was one mom that had like a slight complication that probably needed a C-section. But I really felt that she should have took her time because this is my first time having a C-section. And she really made me nervous. And I did write that in my review for the hospital. But anywho, she told me to sit down and she gave me the spinal. And then she asked me how my legs were feeling and they laid me back. They didn't have any pillows for my neck. I was so uncomfortable throughout the entire surgery. I didn't have any pillows to support my neck.
Good seasoning.
And they gave me like rolled up blankets, which made it hard. It was real tense in this area laying back. And so they gave me a warming little machine, like a blanket over me to keep me warm. And so after they did all of that, they prepped me, put the sheet up so I couldn't see over it. Which I really wouldn't have mind if I would have seen him cut me open because I like stuff like that.
Oh. She like stuff like that. Man, what? And it's crazy because I will watch horror movies, all the goreness in the movies, heads getting chopped off, but in real life,
no, stomach weak.
Oh no, I can't do it.
The stomach is so weak.
I cannot do it. I'm sorry.
So they gave me, they put the blanket or whatnot over me. Marsha was still fast talking and asking me, was I okay? She was getting concerned because she didn't understand that my neck was uncomfortable. She thought that something like a complication was coming along. And I kept telling her my neck is uncomfortable. So it really wasn't nothing they can do at that point. Mm-hmm. Because all the pillows were taken, I guess, into another operating room or whatnot. But once they had set me up with the spinal and they set the sheet up, they called Dad into the room. He had to squeeze in next to me.
Yeah, man.
Because the room was so small and packed.
And they had all these machines, lights carrying on. They operate on the operating table. So they had the chair next to her head or whatnot. And I was just on her there. I was squeezed through her head almost. Like a little cubicle or something.
Very small.
Knees right up under the desk, at a call center or something like that. So when I came in, they was already, started operating, and she was just laying there like a champ, I'm like, dang, they got you cut open over here.
Oh, I did leave that out. So before Dad came in, this is what he did. He said, testing. I guess he hit a few areas of my stomach to see if I was numb. Now, he didn't cut my stomach. He kind of cut above, a little bit below my waistline.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit below my waistline. And he did a phenomenal job with that because I can't even see the scar. We're going on week 3 now.
Don't even know it's there.
It's good. But he did the testing. He did cut me open. Mm-hmm. And then that's when they called you into the room.
Right.
So, yeah. We're sitting there. Of course, hubby, he holds my hand because I think he can see the nervousness on my face and how uncomfortable I was in the room.
And, and as the doctor is operating, I'm looking at her body like being tugged or whatnot, and I'm like, damn, can y'all
pulling?
Be a little more gentle, but I understand the concept of operating.
There's a lot going
what
on.
You need to do, but like I say, just it gets to me sometimes.
Babe looked nervous too while I was getting surgery.
Yeah, I did.
So they had me cut open. The funny part of the story is about Zoey. Once they got through all the layers they need to get through to get to Zoey, once he pulled her little foot out, what did she do?
Snatched it right back in. I'm like, nope. You got my other leg, but you ain't getting this leg. Mm-mm. I'm going back in here where it's warm and I know what's going on in here. What y'all trying to do to me out here?
She wasn't having it.
But, before that, they call you, if you're a dad out there, they ask you, you want to cut the umbilical cord, or dad, you want to see the baby come out being birthed. And I always see my kids come out being birthed. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I do. Take me around the sheet where they had the sheet covered, because when I was sitting by her head, I couldn't see down there. They had the sheets covered or whatnot, so it was just like her head. And I come around, I'm like, oh, it's just, oh my God.
Weak stomach.
I'm talking about like, hey, do you supposed to be, is it supposed to be so much blood?
What'd you say? You said it wasn't right.
It's not right. Is this right? Of course they're professionals, but I'm like, damn, this came, hey man, hey, damn. And then she overheard, I'm okay. Yeah, babe, I'm okay. And I'm like, how?
Can't feel a thing.
Feel this?
Mm-mm.
So when the doctor pulled, C-section, and of course her feet is first, he pulled the left leg out. So she had one leg out, and he went for the right leg, started to pull it out, and she snatched it right back in. And she's like, "Oh, did she just snatch his leg back in?" I said, "Yeah, it looked like she did, Doc. Look like she did."
She didn't want to come out. She said she was comfortable in there. So they called that double footing. When I was discharged, that was on my papers, that she was double footed. So they pulled her out. She did not come out crying instantly.
No. Remarkably, she didn't. I know, majority of the babies, they come out. I'm talking about even when the doctor wake her up, he didn't smack on the ass and nothing, but like pat on the back. Pat on the back and made her, get the air, make sure she was alive, crying and whatnot. She can respond to action and, you know what I'm saying, anything physical touch, So she wasn't crying at all.
Good baby. Until they started messing with her over there to weigh her, and I believe at that time they gave her shot.
Yeah. Of course, they called me around. I cut the umbilical cord on my princess. Weighed her. She wasn't crying no more after that. Then Marsha.
Well, wait a minute. They brought her over.
Mm-hmm.
I was holding her for a while, but then I started feeling weird.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor did say I lost a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Doing the surgery, and so I started feeling weird, and I told Dad to hold the baby. And so, how did Marsha get the baby? How did she get Zoe?
Well, I was when I was sitting next, it was like maybe 5 steps to the weigh-in table, and so Marsha never sat down. She never sat down, so she everywhere. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take her back over here to put the wipe off or some things like that to her. So Marsha had Zoe. She just took him back over there, and then brought her back to where we was. Of course they let the dad hold the baby, but I guess like walking with him, you bring me to, it's not my job to bring the baby to the other nurses.
Mm-hmm.
So of course she let me hold her, and then let me take her back, do this, blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
Come back and hold her. So she was just bringing her back and forth. But when she brought her back and forth, though, when she brought her back,
what was Zoe doing?
Looking for food. Where the food at?
For some reason, Marsha put her head next to mine, and Zoe turned over and was
sucking on her face.
Sucking on my face, looking for food. But remind you that I couldn't eat 8 hours up into the surgery, 8 to 10 hours up into the surgery. So I was hungry. I'm pretty sure Zoe was hungry. Mm-hmm. She was looking for her food. So Zoe was sucking on my face for a little bit. It took them about, I want to say 10 to 15 minutes to sew me up. Mm-hmm. Because I did get my tubes tied along with the C-section. It didn't make sense to have a C-section and not get your tubes tied when you're truly done having kids. So,
all right,
went ahead, did that. I believe it took about 10 to 15 minutes. Afterwards, they transferred me over to another bed so that I can go back to the recovery room. Once I got to the recovery room,
excuse me,
I was able to nurse baby Zoe. I nursed her for a little bit, and then of course, the the baby doctors came down to monitor her to make sure she was okay and things like that. I lied because I gave her shot in the recovery room. She did.
Yeah.
They gave her shot in the recovery room. I remember she started crying.
Yeah. She don't like them pricking on her baby. I'll tell you that. She
they turned me into a mama bear.
One more nurse come in here. I said, baby, they gotta prick her and make sure she's okay.
It just makes me so sad.
But you know,
She was
you gotta,
jaundiced, so they had to prick her foot
you gotta
a lot
understand,
of
you
times.
know, first daughter in the house. First daughter, period, you know.
So they did that. They monitored her in the recovery room. Once we were in the recovery room, I think, how long was we in the recovery room? It wasn't long.
That was downstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, we went probably like maybe for the rest of the day. She was born 1:38 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
afternoon. So I want to say later that night we went up. We left the recovery room, went to the baby floor,
Maternity floor.
maternity floor.
Mm-hmm. And so I know you guys are probably interested about having a baby during quarantine. When we originally came in and answered all the questions, one nurse, which was an older nurse, she told us that he was not allowed to leave at no times.
No times. I'm like, so I can't go. Cause we live, not that far from the hospital. So I can't go, up the street and do what I need to do and come back. She's like,
No,
no,
sir.
no,
No,
we
sir.
don't need, because everything was going on. We're trying to stay safe, so it's best. I like. So what if I want to eat anything? Oh, you just have to have it delivered. And I'm like, man, spend about at least $100 on DoorDash, Uber Eats,
You know, they charges are off the chain.
all this shit. They put their own taxes on that, man.
Yep.
So, she told me I couldn't leave. So, and funny thing, we have a 2-year-old. We'll start getting to them a little later. Have a 2-year-old at the same hospital, and his nurse was Baby Zoey nurse. So, just right off the back, she, recognized us and, made us feel welcome in the hospital.
Very nice lady.
Yeah, very nice lady, man. So
she's one of those hand-on nurses.
act
Very
like she
hands-on.
been, knowing forever. Just a good vibe, period.
Mm-hmm. And if you hear kids in the background, just remember, there's 6 boys playing in the back.
Right.
But, once we got to the maternity floor, everything was good. I don't have any complaints about the maternity nurses. They were very nice, on point. If I needed my pain medicine, they gave it to me. I took pain medicine up into 2 weeks. Not even a full 2 weeks. I think probably like at the end of my first week.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to my second week of the C-section, I felt so much better. I didn't have a problem getting up, walking, because I believe the second day they allowed me to shower, and I had one of the nurses assist me in the shower. I was able to stand up on my own and take my shower. She came in and helped me, like, put my underwear on and my padding on because I couldn't fully bend down with the scar. We got all of that changed, and everything was good. I took my pain medicine, but like, we had to stay in the hospital for a week because Zoe was jaundiced and they wanted to make sure her levels were good before they released her from the hospital. So that felt like torture.
Mm-hmm.
It was torture. That's where the money come in of the food, because we thought he couldn't leave until the nurse told him, you are able to leave the hospital. You just have to be back in before a certain time.
At a certain time. This whole time, I could have been going back and forth.
Boy, I tell you.
And me coming in before the time, the cutoff time.
You could have had him some home cooked meals.
I said, what? I said, yeah, you can leave. I said, it don't matter now. We finna go to the house.
Exactly. So, that's one thing. We couldn't have any visitors. We were not allowed to change our people. Like, say, for instance, I wanted him to be there for 3 days, and I wanted my mom to come in, for the other 2 days. That was a no. Dad had to stay the entire stay, of course. And like we just told you, He was able to leave. He just had to be back in at a certain time, or he would not be allowed in the hospital. Each time the nurses came in, they had like a hand sanitizer dispenser outside the door. So they had to make sure that they kept their hands clean before they came in and interacted with us. It really wasn't bad, other than the fact that I was worried about Zoe's jaundice levels.
Right.
She, of course, had to do phototherapy with the blue light.
Yeah.
She did
She
that for a
did
couple of days.
not like that bed.
No.
You know the little cart that they put the babies in? Oh, we're going to take the baby to nursery. Bring her back.
Nope. Zoe wasn't having it.
She wasn't playing that hard steel bed they had her in, man. She wanted to be on some flesh.
One day she was hollering all the way down from the nursery throughout the hallway till she got to the room. She did not want them folks fooling with her.
I know that's our baby right there. That's our baby right there, letting them know, hey, quit taking me out of here. And she slept a lot. You know, she never cried. Only time she made noise was when
they fooling her.
Yeah, when they messing with her, or she wanted to get a little milk. You know.
When she wanted to eat, when they came in and wanted to wake her, they want to take the blanket off of her,
and
the room was ice cold. But we were able to go home on a Sunday. It felt so good to be home in our bed. I was so comfortable. I didn't want to get up. Of course, we had certain family members come over to visit Zoe because they wasn't able to come to the hospital.
Right. And I cherish the experience.
It is kind of spicy.
Excuse me. I cherish the experience, you know. The first daughter, man. The only daughter. Yeah.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Speaking of my first daughter, only daughter, just heard Baby Zoey wake up from a nap. So, mom went to go check on her. You know. Well, Zoe, you know, speak things in the future, man. No, I ain't saying she just the favorite, but she's my favorite. She's my favorite. But you know, I love my wife. Love Zoe, and you know, go be sending.
Baby, who do you say was your favorite?
I love all the kids the same.
I better be your favorite.
I'm a number one girl in my life.
That don't make no sense right there.
You know, so, but
Well, obviously she want to join, so I guess we'll show you Baby Zoey. Let me wash my hands.
Show us Baby Zoey. You know, like I say, she just probably looking for some food. That's all, cause she would just sleep. She sleep, eat, and y'all know the third thing: sleep, eat, and poop. You know, but I love it though. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Just last night we had a play day at 2 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. Just last night, or this morning, however you want to put it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going for it again today. So. Looking for some food. Let's see how mama eat.
Well, we have Baby Zoey here, but I'll wait to show her. We can post some pictures because she's eating right now. But to all the mothers that are having a C-section, either if it's planned or if it's an emergency C-section, things do get better the second week. It's not such a horrible experience. It doesn't make you less of a mother because you didn't deliver vaginally. Things happen, you know. I try to have her flip back over, and it just wasn't happening for her. So I had to get a C-section. I'm blessed that she was here. She's healthy. Nothing is wrong with her at the moment. Everything is good. We continue to monitor her. She has a good pediatrician, so she's in good hands, with her health. So I just want you guys just to say, stay motivated.
Yes.
Plan everything out. I didn't really have to pack too much because the hospital really provided everything that I needed.
Yes.
For the surgery. The only thing that I packed was like a toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, like my necessities to keep my hygiene up. They do provide that at the hospital, but it's nothing that you would want to really bathe in, or depend on.
Instead of great value stuff, I mean, it works, but it ain't your preference of choice.
Your soap and deodorant. So we bought our hygienes and items. We also bought like sleepwear. I believe I bought like probably one outfit, to be honest, because that's be the outfit that I left the hospital in. So I didn't pack much at all in my bag. We did have clothes for Zoe, of course.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be able to dress her up in all these different outfits while we at the hospital, but all in honesty, because she was going to the nursery back and forth, I just left her in the plain white tee they gave her, because they continue to come in and weigh her and to prick her foot, and the onesies have little footies on there, so I didn't want her to be too disturbed while she was getting checked on. So she was only able to wear one of those outfits, so just keep that in mind as well. We did bring like our laptop, but we didn't even use that.
Yeah, not so much.
We should have, because we were tired of the same channels that they had on the TV. That was so boring.
But the thing was, we couldn't hook it up to the TV.
Right, but we could have watched it on the laptop.
On the laptop, yeah.
But we were bored out of our minds waiting there that whole week. It felt like jail. We were so happy to be released and so happy that she was able to come home with us, because it would have broke my heart if I had to leave my baby in the nursery. So that is a blessing.
Yes, it is. And
it is a true blessing.
All the way from then to now, she's 100% healthy, growing, putting on pounds every week.
Yeah, she was born at 6 pounds 15 ounces, and we went to the doctor today, and she's 8 pounds and 4 ounces. So she's only at the beginning of 3 weeks.
Man, I say she say 3 weeks. I say the start of 3 weeks.
The start of 3 weeks. She turned 3
I
weeks.
mean, y'all let me know. Y'all comment below if. Okay, so Baby Zoey was born May 25th, 2020. So today is the beginning of the 3rd week she's been here. So she's really literally only 2 weeks. But, other people say 3 weeks.
She's 3 weeks.
So I'm like, well, that's 21 days essentially. So there's like, I'm at the peak of 3 weeks. I mean, y'all comment below. Let me know. I don't know. Maybe I'm tricked.
The baby is 3 weeks. Okay. But she's 3 weeks. She's healthy and good. And she's our little princess. And we just love this little fat face. Everything about her, even though she do want to party at night sometimes. But
all the time.
Everything is good. You will be okay if you're having a C-section.
Yeah.
You definitely will be okay. It really depends on your pain tolerance. I take pain pretty good, so I wasn't crying in the bed and begging for pain pills. I really just took them when they told me, hey, do you want your pain medicine? And then I'll say, oh yeah, I do feel a little stiff. It's more of a stiff feeling. It's not like, oh, I can feel where he cut me and a pinching, piercing feeling. The only thing that really bothered me were like the ends of my incision. It just felt real tender to the touch.
Right.
So other than that, everything was good. When I do pee, till this day, when I do pee, I can feel like the pressure. I'm guessing my organs are still trying to adjust in there, but I can feel it. It feels like pressure when as I pee. But it's not a painful feeling. I watched a video in the past and a lady told me that it was just so painful to pee after having a C-section. It's really not, but it really depends on your pain tolerance. So just keep that in mind when you are watching videos about C-sections. Keep a positive mind. Keep a positive mind. Go in with a positive mind. Tell yourself it's going to be okay, because it truly is. Don't freak yourself out on the bed while you're getting cut open. Take your mind somewhere else while that's happening, because they did tie my arms down, and I do not like being tied down. So I had just pictured Zoe the whole time. I picture her. I picture how happy I'm going to be when she comes out. And during that 10 to 15 minutes, I really was freaking out because it took too long.
Right.
Even though 10 15 minutes is not a long time, but when you're laying down and somebody else have control over your body, it feels like an eternity.
Yeah, because you can't move. Yeah,
I told myself, I said, I'm not going to think about it, because if I do, I'm going to freak out and I probably start trying to flip off the bed. So I just thought about Zoe. I was like, I cannot wait till she get over here. I can't wait to see her. So that kind of helped me ease my mind throughout the C-section. So I just say stay positive, guys. Everything will be okay. Make sure that you don't overpack for the hospital. You don't need 2 or 3 bags going into the hospital. Just keep in mind that you're going to birth a beautiful baby, and just stay safe during this quarantine. Make sure that your nurses are keeping up.
Right.
Make sure, because you never know what's going on in the next room. You make sure you hear that hand sanitizer dispenser going off before they come into the room. Make sure their hands are clean. Make sure they have their mask on, because you are in a hospital. Germs do travel. And you do want to make sure that you're safe and that baby is safe as well. So, I mean, that's pretty much the end of the story. I did not have a tragic story to share with you. I did have a good experience other than my neck hurting throughout the C-section, but that was out of my control.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, and everything work out for, your whole family. Like my wife said, just, trust and believe everything's going to be all right. You go in with a positive mindset, thinking about your baby boy or your baby girl, and just look at the finish line. Y'all gonna get through this. Y'all gonna get through this, even if it's your first time or whatever, and just know you're gonna get through this. And it makes it all worth the while. It makes it all worth the while.
She is a sweetie pie.
Curly hair.
Definitely spoiled too.
Yes.
But I already knew how that was going to work out.
Right.
But this is the end of our video. I do ask for you to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We do intend to incorporate the kids. They probably will do some challenges. Of course, they're really excited about doing pranks. I'll be vlogging throughout the day with me and Zoe.
Not prank me.
So it's a lot coming on this channel. We will continue to do mukbangs. We did a mini mukbang. I really couldn't eat everything. It's so much seafood, but it was so delicious.
So good, man.
So delicious. And we just look forward to bringing more content out for you guys to enjoy. So please support us any way possible. And we look forward to seeing you in our next video.
That's Jazzy Jazz TV. Subscribe.
All right, guys. You have a blessed day or night. And we'll be back with another one. Peace.
Holla.